Welcome back, team. What is NIST CSF? NIST is a very big chapter, so I had bifurcated this NIST in two slides, in two sessions actually. Number one is for basics, which today is going on just now, and next one is the implementation of NIST, which I will cover in the next video. So let's begin for NIST Cyber Security Framework basics parts. Coming to the next slide. These slides talk about what is NIST, what does it means, and what like how NIST comes in picture. So NIST CSF is a set of guidelines, best practices from National Institute of Standard and Technology (NIST) that helps organizations manage and reduces cyber security risk. As we can see in slide that this is a non-regulatory agencies of the US government who promotes innovations, securities and industrial competitiveness. The main function is to create the best practice or standard for organizations and government agencies to follow. Means the NIST is actually to bring the organizations into a level considering good safeguards from the in like from the intruders part, or they can promote innovations and securities and industrial competitiveness, as we can see here. We can also say that uh, understand the cyber risk. Actually, what is the use of CSF? So we can also consider that to understand the cyber risk, improve the defenses part, make better risk-based investment decisions, determine what process and controls are most relevant to their unique challenges, and implement and test the efficiency of their securities measures uh, are the purpose of NIST. A cybersecurity framework helps an organization to begin or improve their cybersecurities program, because those organizations who are following this NIST government rules, particularly, they can have more trust of the customers because of the standards being achieved. CSF is a set of cybersecurity's best practices and recommendations from the NIST. The CSF makes it easier to understand cyber risk and improve your defenses, as I explained earlier. CSF provides comprehensive guidance and best practices that private sector organizations can follow to implement information securities and cyber risk management. It helps us in both parts. Next slide is about how many key functions of the NIST basics, uh, plus what are the subcontrols. So 6 key functions are there. Let me pick up the pen here. Number one is governance part: identify, protect, detect, respond and recover. So let's discuss what is a governance part, what does it mean, and how many subcontrols are under governance part. A role of governance is to manage the rest of the parts, identify, protect all these parts. Governance part is to just manage all these parts. Okay. In addition with organizational context, means how many interested parties, how can we manage the internal securities postures, and how many stakeholders or interested parties who can impact the internal postures of the organizations. Risk management strategies, because if governance is there, it cannot live without risk management part. Supply chain means how many suppliers, roles and responsibilities and authorities, that means accountabilities part. Oversight means actually resilience part, okay, backup part we can say. So these are the sub-controls of governance part. The organization's cybersecurity's risk management strategy, expectations and policies are established, communicated and monitored. The governed functions provides outcome to inform what an organization may do to achieve and prioritize the outcomes of the other five functions in the context of its mission and cybersecurity into the organization's broader ERM, that is enterprise risk management. It governed address and understanding of organization context, the establishment of cybersecurity strategy and cybersecurity supply chain risk management, roles and responsibilities, and authorities, policies, and the oversight of the risk of the cybersecurity strategy. Next is identify. The organization's current cybersecurity risks are understood. Understanding the organization's assets, data, hardware, software, systems, facilities, suppliers, and related cybersecurity risk enables an organizations to prioritize its efforts consistent with its risk management strategy and the mission needs identified under governed. The functions also includes the identification of improvement opportunities for the organizations, policies, plans, process, procedures, and practices that supports cybersecurity is risk management to inform efforts under all six functions. I like identify. We have to identify. The spelling of management is not correct here. Anyway, identify asset management. First, we need to identify the assets. How many assets and inventory are there in the organization? Second is the risk. Risk means how much quantity of risk they are having in terms of software, hardwares, and the third parties involved in that assets. Improvement. Okay, how can we accept or how can we mitigate the of that particular risk? So these are the sub controls of the like identify. Coming to the protect part. Its safeguards to manage the organization cybersecurity's risk are used. Once assets and risks are identified and prioritized, protect supports the ability to secure those assets to prevent or lower the likelihood and impact of adverse cybersecurity events, as well as to increase the likelihood and impact of taking advantages of opportunities. Outcomes covered by these functions include identity management, authentication, access, awareness trainings, data securities, platforms securities, securing the hardware, software, and services of physical and virtual platforms with the resilience of technology infra. Like authentication, identity management, and access control, awareness and training, data securities, platform securities, technology, infrastructure, resilience are the part of the product. That means how can we see? Once we identify the inventory and the assets who are involved in the organizations, right, we need to protect. Okay, how many network devices are there, how many assets in terms of software, hardware, right, how many how many devices are attached in an organization, we need to protect. How to protect? By authentications, by awareness training, by data securities, by platform security, by technologies, infrastructure resilience, that is the business continuity. I hope it's very clear. Coming to the detect part. Detect. The possible cyber securities attacks and compromise are found and analyzed, means we need to detect. Detect enables the timely discovery and analysis of anomalies, indicators of compromise, and other potential adverse events that may indicate that cyber security attacks and incidents are occurring. The function supports successful incident response and recovery activities. It includes continuous monitoring. Detects means we have a application server. Okay, we know that very critical services are running or on it. For example, like for example payroll application, so we need to monitoring it on a regular basis, that is the continuous monitoring, because without checking the health, if something goes wrong, then it will become a problem, because if payroll is stuck, so you know what happens. If 1 month salary is delayed, then what is the impact, you know very well. Next is adverse monitoring. Again, the monitoring of is the spelling of monitoring is not correct anyway. Adverse event monitoring, any event comes in place, we need to make it target either by accepting or mitigating. Detect, we need to detect the risk, we need to detect any event, we need to detect any mishappenings, we need to detect if any gap is there, and anything who can impact the organization's performance comes under the detect part. Respond. Okay, actions regarding detected cybersecurity incidents are taken. Respond supports the ability to contain the effects of cybersecurity incident outcomes within these functions, covers incident management, analysis, mitigations, reporting, and communications part. Respond. That means how can we respond? How can we respond if anything goes wrong? Okay, what is the actions we, we took once issues reported? What are the subcontrols? Incident management life cycle. Okay, incident analysis, incident response as incident response reporting and communications, incident migrations. These are the sub checks on respond. Respond means if incidents reported to you, right, what are the actions you need to take, either to mitigate or to accept the risk. How will it will how will you make it coverage? Incident management, life cycles, okay, RCA, problem management, or uh, like change management. So these are the certain things we need to it comes under the response part. Recover, how can we recover it once you had responded? How can we recover? Okay, we need to make a plan. How? By set up a meeting with the domain leads or with the management if any serious things are there. Okay, by CAB, change advisory board, change advisory board. Recovery communications, if any stakeholders were impacted, once it's corrected, how you set up the communications with your stakeholders. Plan executions and recovery communications are the two uh, very most important pillars of the of this NIST functions. So these are the six functions: governance, identify, protect, detect, respond, recover. How to implement the NIST framework we will discuss in the next video. Plus, if you need interview free guidance, I am covering a session on Sunday. The timing and email and this meeting link I will send you on email once you connect with me on this email, that is Rajbir Singh aug@gmail.com. Okay, this session having no charge, you can take the benefit because most of the in most of the areas they took the charges, and it's an opportunity to take you the grab the like what are the logics and what are the fundamentals you need to take in interviews sessions. So stay tuned guys. Connect me on Rajbir Singh aug@gmail.com for interview guidance on Sunday. Next video on implementation of NIST framework. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care.